Here we go, long time no see, part 41. It's about the teardrop of India. I'm pretty sure that you're all familiar. That's how most of the people are calling Sri Lanka or Ceylon. So you need to travel, or it was already 65 days when I packed my suitcase, and it seems to me that it was like yesterday. So I was continuing my travels from India to Ceylon, or actually, it's a cool name, but let's call it Sri Lanka, the teardrop of India. I am trying to hide myself from the heat of the asphalt. I am trying to drink some tea to keep me warm in a very warm temperatures, and I'm just like waving my hands because there's so many tuk-tuk drivers asking me to take me all around the place. And what I did, that was a very slow afternoon. I had some siesta moments in Ceylon. I was reading the book in Colombo in some private hacienda. I don't even have a clue how I booked that hacienda, probably through my location scouting friends or fixers, but I was like somehow in the middle of the jungle in Colombo, and I was reading a book about the Ceylon tea and the Tamil tigers. Pretty much that's people connect Sri Lanka with, oh, some tea or some terrorism. Unfortunately, when you get stigmatized, you get stigmatized. And pretty much as this book is not going to learn you a lot about the history, because if you want some history and some real facts, you should come and visit me on my history tour of Croatia and Dubrovnik. And I didn't want it to be boring, so I'm just putting my facts, not to be like my history teacher, my former history teacher, facts, 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 and then you fall asleep. So pretty much when I sit in a tuk-tuk, the crazy driver was driving faster than his colleagues in Thailand. And I was like, do I want to jump out and save myself for that stress in traffic? But on that island, which is like territory has like a island, so it is like lots of noise, lots of honking, and lots of traffic chaos. And pretty much you just watch of yourself, watching straight in front, not to hit somebody. It doesn't care, nobody cares if they hit you. But that quantity of the noise was a bit unbearable. It reminded me of Nepal, because that's the highest quantity of the noise I have ever experienced in my life. So pretty much I'm driving around, looking, observing, and then I see the cricket field in the middle of the road. And I was like, okay, holy shit, are those people going to move from the middle of the road, or we have to detour at some point? Because there's so many fields around, you can play cricket, you don't have to do it in the middle of the street. Then, you take a rest, you drink a bit of the coke, not to get your stomach pretty upset. Then you try some food, which is even like some food can be more spicy than the Indian one. So I was drinking also a lot of yogurt just to, deal with that heat and spices. And pretty much, nobody's on time. And I've been to more Buddhist temples than a regular Buddhist person, pretty much. Of course, there were some Hindu temples along the way. I'm just mad at myself that I didn't try any cricket. So, as those people were like, small, tiny, but very helpful, we don't speak the same language, like smell of curcuma and everything else. But, you have to love Sri Lanka, from the mountains through the train ride where you are packed like a sardine, to the south of the island where you have some national parks, nice sandy beaches, an enjoyable time. Uh, Pretty much what I like to do when I travel, I like to sit in a local place, and I like to speak to the local people. Doesn't matter if we understand each other or not. That's how my friends always tell me, Ivan, we can always find you because you're always talking to somebody local and you like to communicate with some unknown people. Actually, that's who am I, and actually that's what I love because that's the traveling is for, and then you can tell the stories at the end. So pretty much I don't have any problems to with the food, so I can digest barely anything, and I can only shit my pants when I come back to Croatia because I got used to it on so much on Asian food or some other food. And African Asian stomach, it can be a pretty cheap stomach, but it can handle everything. And I love those places because you live and you die there on the street. See you tomorrow. Hopefully, Olympics started, so I am not sure.